goes into Master, but what shall these things be? Mark, tell us, what shall these things be? Matthew has tell us, what shall these things be? So I can have both Master, tell us, or tell us, Master. I think I'll have it start with Master. That's only Luke. Master, tell us from Matthew and Mark. Luke continues, but when shall these things be? Mark, when shall these things be? Matthew, when shall these things be? Only Luke has the but at the beginning. And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? Mark, and what shall be the sign when all these things shall be fulfilled? Matthew, and what shall be the sign of your coming and the end of the world? The shall be is in italics in Matthew and Mark. You know, to be honest, it's a bit strange that in Matthew it's put here, the sign of your coming and the end of the world. Because if they truly believe his kingdom is going to be earthly, perhaps that would explain why it's asking about your coming into your kingdom. Because I don't think they expected his second coming yet, because he had been telling them, I'm going to die, and they just didn't believe him. So I think they're saying your kingdom. When are you going to be coming in your kingdom, not knowing it's the second coming? So it's strange that they would ask, and of the end of the world. That's really strange. But I'm going to have to find a way to put all three. I think shall come to pass and be fulfilled are equivalent. And then I have to have, and what shall be the sign of your coming and the end of the world? I'm going to have two questions. When shall these things come to pass or be fulfilled? And what shall be the sign of your coming? In all three, they're asking for the sign. What shall be the sign when all these things shall be fulfilled? What sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? And what shall be the sign of your coming and of the end of the world? What sign shall there be when all these things shall be fulfilled of your coming and of the end of the world? I guess I could do that. Mark, when all these things shall be fulfilled. Luke, when these things shall come to pass. All is only Mark. Should I have be fulfilled or come to pass? I think I'm going to have be fulfilled, because come to pass, Matthew has your coming. I want to avoid any repetition if I can, so I'll put be fulfilled from Mark. Be fulfilled. Then the question from only Matthew. Of your coming and of the end of the world. Yeah, I think I should only have them asking for a sign once. Because in their mind, this is all one event, except for the end of the world. I don't think they believe the end of the world is about to happen. Because they think Jesus is going to kick out the Romans and he's going to rule as king right now. I don't think they believe it's the end of the world. I really wonder why that's connected with the sign of your coming. Maybe they mean the end of the world as we know it, meaning the rule of Rome, the end of this type of living. And they do think that's the end of the world, but not the end of life. Maybe they did think the end of the world was coming up whenever Jesus would rule and reign as king, and they thought that was now. Okay, well, if that's the case, then yeah, they could be combined. What sign will there be when all these things shall be fulfilled, and of your coming, and of the end of the world? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll have sign only once. And what and sign, that's all three. Will is only Luke, so I'll exchange that with shall from Matthew and Mark. And I'll keep there from Luke. B, so that's all three. And what sign shall there be when but when shall these things be, and what sign shall there be when all these things shall be fulfilled, and of your coming and of the end of the world? You know, actually, I think I should have when all these things shall be fulfilled at the end. Because they're saying all these things. Everything that he's talking about, and everything that they're believing he's talking about, which would include the sign of your coming and the end of the world. Yeah. So because they believe he is about to bring in his kingdom right now, that would probably be included in their question. All these things be fulfilled. So what sign shall there be of your coming and of the end of the world, when all these things shall be fulfilled? But when shall these things be? And what sign shall there be of your coming and of the end of the world, when all these things shall be fulfilled? I don't know, something about this isn't right. But when shall these things be? And what sign shall there be of your coming? I don't know why, it just doesn't feel right. And what shall be the sign? And what shall be the sign? The sign. Okay, the word "the" is in both Matthew and Mark. If I have "the" and what shall be, if I have "shall be" earlier and what shall be the sign, I can't have the word "there." Yeah, I want to go with the majority, not Luke. So sign comes after, and the word "the" is Matthew and Mark. I think that might have been it, because I've read, maybe it's just because I've read this passage enough times, and I wanted it to mix with what I know, Matthew, because Matthew has the most complete response. But still, it's the majority. It's Matthew and Mark. And what shall be the sign of your coming? and of the end of the world, when all these things shall be fulfilled.